All right. So I'm making this video for the benefit of my pre-intermediate level students, whom I have set into a reading group to do some reading and writing development exercises. But because I'm putting it on my regular YouTube and other students follow it, if you want, you can benefit from this. But first, you need this book. Let me see. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see it clearly. It's basic sorry, my sense of direction is poor. Sorry. Okay, still not clear. It's basic comprehension passages. You can buy it in any bookshop in Jaffna. It should be about 650 rupees now. Either Jaffna or Colombo. It's widely available. It's about 650 rupees. And there are some passages to develop your reading and some follow-up exercises to develop your vocabulary and writing. So I have already done 2 to 3 passages with the students. Today they were supposed to do passage 4. I understand they struggled with it. So I think the only thing to do now is to guide them through it with videos. I don't have time to sit with them through each class. Okay, so let's get started on passage 4. I understand you have already read it, my students. So I'll read it again just to run you through what you read. Okay, so number 4, read and decide. The woman wanted or did not want to cut the tree down. Yes, what's the answer? Did she want to cut it down or didn't she want to cut it down? After you read, you should know the answer to this. In the end, she was glad or sorry. Okay, so what's the answer? Was she glad? That means was she happy about it? Or was she sorry about it? You should know the answer again. Let's get started on the passage. We had an enormous apple tree in our garden, only a few yards from the kitchen window. So enormous means very, very big. So they had an enormous apple tree, only a few yards from their kitchen window. We really must cut that tree down, my husband said, soon after we moved into the house. I am sure it's dangerous. Okay, so they have only recently gone into this house, moved into the house. And soon after they moved into the house, her husband said, we should cut it down because it's so close to the house. Having a big tree so close to the house is dangerous. Don't be silly, I said. I quite liked the tree myself. It's quite safe. It isn't going to fall down on the house. So the writer doesn't believe that the tree should be cut down. She liked the tree. And she's telling her husband, don't be silly. It's safe. Nothing is going to happen. It will not fall on the house. Well, I read something in the paper only the other day, he said. So this is a phrase in English. Only the other day is like just the other day I was doing something. One of these days. So sometime in the past, he has done it. And so he read something in the paper recently, basically. A tree crashed into a woman's bedroom during a storm. Okay, so we all know this during storm, heavy rain, thunder, that storm. At that time, trees fall down. And if the trees are close to your house and your house is weak, it can break into your house and fall down on you. So a tree crashed into a woman's house during a heavy storm. It had happened to her. She was going to get rid of the tree and now she is in hospital. So she was going to get rid of it, but she didn't do it. அவ செய்யறதுக்கு இருந்திருக்கிறா. இத இத இந்த மரத்தை துளைக்க வேணும்னு யோசிச்சிருக்கிறா. ஆனா அதை செய்யல. She was going to do it, but she didn't do it, and now she's in the hospital. So the point is, if she had cut the tree, she wouldn't be in hospital. She made plans, she didn't follow it through, and because of that, during the storm, the tree fell on her house, and now she's in hospital. In the end, after several arguments of this kind, we asked a couple of workmen to come along and cut the tree down. So finally, they kept arguing back and forth. Finally, they decided to ask a couple of workmen to come and cut the tree down. It was not an easy job. In fact, it took them all morning. So to cut the tree down was not easy, and it took them the full morning to cut it down. But at last, the tree was lying on the ground. What about the roots? The men asked. Shall we take them out too or leave them? So finally, above the ground, they have cut the tree. The men asked, what do you want us to do with the root? Shall we leave it there or do you want us to pull it out? Oh, take them out, I said. Let's make a good job of it. So let's make a good job of it means do the job thoroughly, finish it fully. So the writer says, pull the roots out also. You have started the job, do the full job. This took all afternoon, and I was beginning to think about the size of the bill. So just taking the roots out took all afternoon. So all morning cut the tree, all afternoon pull the roots. So one entire day's work. And now the writer is worried about how much the bill is going to come. There was also a big hole in the garden. Okay, so when they dug the roots out, there's a hole in the garden, obviously. You will be able to put all your old rubbish in there, the men said as they left. So when they were leaving, they told this couple, you can put all your garbage, rubbish, whatever. We also do that in Jaffna. When we have holes in the garden, we fill it with our garbage. My husband climbed down into the hole and began to look around. So climbed down. Hey, look, he called up to me. There are some old coins here, and I think they are gold. So when he was looking around in the ground, he found some old coins and he thinks they are gold. I climbed down into the hole and we started to dig around, hoping to find some more coins. So then the wife also got down. She's the writer. And they both were started digging around in the hole, hoping to find even more coins. We did, and we also found a small metal box. So they did find coins, and they also found a small metal box. We broke it open. It was full of jewelry, rings, necklaces, and bracelets. So it's an old jewelry box, and it was full of jewelry. Gosh, I said, I suppose someone hid these things in the ground, perhaps during a war. Okay, gosh is an exclamation. Adisethila solra or there is no meaning for it, it's something in their culture. Gosh. And then that's why you have the exclamation mark, Adisepuri. She says, gosh, I suppose someone hid these things in the ground, perhaps during a war. So யாரோ இத ஒருவேளை போர் நேரமாக்க நிலத்துல ஒளிச்சு வச்சிருந்திருக்கிறார். They are probably worth a small fortune, my husband said. Okay, fortune has 2 or 3 different meanings. One is good luck. You're fortunate. The other is a lot of money. It's a small fortune means fortune is a lot of money. So even when you say small fortune, it's quite a lot of money. So when he's saying they are probably worth a small fortune, it's probably worth a huge amount of money. That's what he's saying. Well, aren't you glad now that you got rid of that old tree? So he's asking her because she didn't want the tree cut down. Now, aren't you glad we got rid of it? Okay. And follow-up exercises. Find these words and phrases in the text. So enormous in line 1. Go back and read line 1 to see enormous. So they have marked in the book, you can see line 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 is marked. So line 1, you can find above line 5. Line 9, you can find above line 10. Just find the line, read the word in the context. Read the full sentence so that you get a better idea. So we had an enormous apple tree in our garden. So enormous apple tree. So following this, you get similar words and you have to match the words. That's why you're doing this. In the end, in line 10. So in line 10, in the end, after several arguments of this kind, we asked a couple of workmen to come along. Make a good job of it in line 15. Oh, take them out, I said. Let's make a good job of it. Rubbish in line 18. Let's see. You will be able to put all your old rubbish in there, the men said as they left. Coins in line 21. Hey, look, he called up to me. There are some old coins here. Suppose in line 26. Gosh, I said, I suppose someone hid these things in the ground. Got rid of in line 29. Well, aren't you glad now that you got rid of that old tree? Okay, and on the next page, you have to match it with the correct meaning. Removed, do it very well, very big, think, finally, things you do not want, money made of metal. Okay, so which of these matches the previous set of words? I have put it up in a document and else. All right. So enormous, there was an enormous tree in our garden. Basically, it's a very big tree. In the end is finally. Make a good job of it. Is that the same thing? Do it very well. Okay, I got it wrong. Yeah, it should be do it very well. Rubbish, things you do not want. So rubbish is garbage, trash, all these are synonyms. Things you throw out because you don't want it. Coins are money made of metal. So we get the 1 rupee coin, 5 rupee coin, 10 rupee coin. Suppose, I suppose, is you think. Got rid of is removed. Okay, pre-intermediate class, I don't know why you were so confused with it. By the process of elimination, you should have understood got rid of means removed. Finally, oops, I shouldn't have shown the other one. Okay, next one, part B. Choose the right answer. The man wanted to get rid of the apple tree because it was A, too near the house, B, too big, too old, C, too big. So all these are reasons, but the primary reason I would say is too near the house. So it's dangerous during storms. So I'll go with 1A. It's too near the house. The man's wife liked the tree, but in the end, she, A, went to hospital, B, agreed, C, helped to cut the tree down. So it's B, she agreed. Even though she liked the tree, she finally agreed with her husband to cut the tree down. 3, the men who came to cut the tree down, A, had to work hard, B, argued a lot, C, worked during a storm. So it's A, they had to work hard. It was a full day's work. 4, the workmen made a big hole because A, they were looking for money, B, they wanted to hide some rubbish, C, they took out the roots of the tree. So it was C, they took out the roots of the tree. 5, when the man climbed down into the hole, he found A, some money, B, some rubbish, C, some apples. Okay, it's A, some money. 6, Later, the man and his wife found a box. The things in the box were A, valuable, B, important, C, useful. Again, it's all three, but what is very important for them is that it's very valuable. They can sell it and get some money from it. So it's valuable. C, what do the words in italics refer to? It's quite safe. So if is in italic, what does it refer to? The apple tree. And now she's in hospital. She's in italics. Okay, so this is the lady who was going to cut her tree down and she didn't. And he read about her in the papers. Shall we take them out too or leave them? Them is in italics. Shall we take them out too? What do them refer to? The roots. You will be able to put all your old rubbish in there. There is in italics. And it refers to the big hole. We did, and we also found a small metal box. Okay, did is in italics. So that is, they were hoping to find some old coins. We did. So basically, it's referring to the old coins or finding the old coins. It was full of jewelry. It refers to the metal box. They are probably worth a fortune. They refers to the jewelry, the bracelets, necklaces. Next one, part D, put in the correct word. Dash wanted to cut the tree down. So basically, the writer's husband wanted to cut the tree down. Number 2 was not worried about the tree. The writer was not worried about the tree. Number 3, Dash had to work all day. The workman had to work all day. Number 4, Dash left a big hole in the garden. Again, the workman left a big hole in the garden. Dash found some coins in the hole. So the writer's husband found some coins in the hole. 6, Dash found a box full of jewelry. So the couple, both husband and wife, writer and her husband, found a box full of jewelry. Okay, part E, who said it? They are given the quotes in inverted commas. We really must cut that tree down. The writer's husband said it. It's quite safe. The writer says it. What about the roots? The workman said, let's make a good job of it. The writer says it. They are probably worth a fortune. The writer's husband says it. Okay, next we come to the guided composition. So you should have copied this and then try to fill it by using the passage. I hope you managed to do it, but let's go through it again if you haven't. So it's 2 dash came today to get rid of that dash. The one that was just a few dash from dash. Okay, and now we know there's a full stop here because the next sentence starts with the capital letter. In the morning, comma, they dash the tree dash. Again, full stop. Then, comma, in the dash, comma, they dash out. Full stop. As you can imagine, comma, they left dash in the dash. Full stop. However, comma, that's not all. Exclamation mark. I climbed down into dash and found dash. Full stop. Then we both found dash. Full stop. It was full of dash. Exclamation mark. Well, we are both glad we dash that old tree. Okay, so first you should have written it down with all the dashes, the blanks, and then try to fill in the blanks by reading the passage and putting the correct words there. And this is the answer. Check your answers. Go back to when you are doing the exercise, go back to the passage, read through the passage and try to fill it. So this is the prime part of the exercise. This is for you to develop your writing skills. And I hope you managed to do that, my students, today. Okay, so you can pause it and go through it. Now let me move on to the next one. The last one, vocabulary practice. Complete these sentences using the words in the box. Okay, the words in the box: coins, dangerous, enormous, hid is the past tense of hide. Hole, as in HOLE, hole, jewelry, rid of, rubbish, workmen, and words. Number one, what shall we do with all these old dash, question mark? Or throw it in that dash at the end of the garden. Okay, so from this, you know it's not something worthwhile. Throw it in the garden. So throw it in that dash at the end of the garden. It's going to be a hole. So what do you throw in the hole? Rubbish. What shall we do with all this old rubbish? Or throw it in that hole at the end of the garden. And my pre-intermediate students, you're supposed to be writing this. Start with a capital letter, question mark, full stop, punctuation. All that should be intact. Copy the full sentence and write it. Number two, the dash made a very good job of the kitchen, hyphen. But the bill was absolutely dash, exclamation mark. Okay, so the workmen, it's workman, I think, right? No, the workmen made a very good job of the kitchen, but the bill was absolutely, okay, so they did a good job. What will happen to the bill? The only suitable word here is enormous, very big bill. The bill was absolutely enormous. Number three, she put all her dash in a small metal box and then dash it in her bedroom. So that's, she put all her jewelry in a small metal box and then hid it in her bedroom. Number four, you say the car safe. Car is safe becomes car safe. But I think it's dash. So let's get dash it. Okay, so you say the car is safe, but I think it's dangerous. So let's get rid of it. I have just found these old dash in the garden. Do you think they are dash anything? I have just found these old coins in the garden. Do you think they are worth anything? Write all those sentences down if you haven't. The purpose of this exercise is to develop your vocabulary, your grammar, and your writing structure. So do it regularly. I'll send you a video with each passage so that you can first work on the passage, then look at my video so that you can follow up with it. I don't want any silly excuses that you didn't understand. And again, a message to my pre-intermediate students. I gave these exercises only after you had supposedly read a lot. So you should have found these exercises easy. But you're clearly finding it difficult, which means you need a lot more reading in your background. So continue reading on your own with other books, because now in the reading classes, you are doing these exercises. This is not enough. You have to read a lot more extensively to understand grammar, to understand the vocabulary, understand what they are saying and how they are phrasing the sentences. You have to understand common English phrases and vocabulary to understand the story. So develop yourself fast. Okay, all the best. We'll end here tonight.